Good morning. Today we're going to talk about how to identify key features of linear functions from graphs. It is the first learning target in our writing linear equations unit. So in your packet you'll see this, key features of linear functions. You need to know a few things about these key features. First is our x-intercept, which is the point blank, comma, 0, and that is going to be where the graph crosses the x-axis. It is important that you recognize that it is actually a point, so we're going to write that as an ordered pair. Don't just write a number down. Okay, so whatever number you get on the x-axis goes first, and then a 0 goes second. The y-intercept is the point where the graph crosses the y-axis. When you look at the graph, you're going to find the y-axis there. Here, I lost my connection. Okay, you're going to find the point where it crosses the y-axis and write it as an ordered pair, 0, comma, whatever the number is. This is also known as your initial value or your b when we graphed last unit. Slope is known as rise over run, or the change in y divided by change in x. This is the slope formula that we'll talk about a little bit later on. It tells us how steep a straight line is, and it's also known as the rate of change. Okay, so examples here. First thing, x-intercept, we're going to look for our x-axis, find that number where it crosses, and it crosses at 4, so our x-intercept is the point 40. Our y-intercept is on the y-axis, okay, so find your y-axis. I'm at -2, so my y-intercept is 0, comma, -2. To find our slope, what we're going to do is we're going to count the rise over run. Okay, doesn't really matter how you draw your triangle in as long as you pay attention to your sign at the end. I always start on the left and go up or down, and then work my way across to the right. So if I count this, starting at my -2, I go up 1, 2, and then I go over 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so my rise over run is up 2 over 4. I can reduce that by 2 to get 1 over 2. So my rise over run is 1/2 for my slope. Keep in mind that line is increasing, so it is a positive slope. Okay, for the next problem, same thing, we're going to start by finding our x-intercept on our x-axis, which is 6, so 6, 0, and then find our y-intercept, which is 4, so we have 0, 4, and then we're going to draw our triangle in to find our slope. So notice this time, if I start on the left, I'm going down and then to the right, so I'm going to count down 1, 2, 3, 4, so down 4, and then right 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, so my slope is down 4, right 6. Again, I can reduce this by 2 to get -2/3. Okay, my line is decreasing, so it's a good thing my slope is negative. Okay. Last one we're going to do together, a little different. This isn't an exact point here, so I'm going to approximate that at about 1.3. Okay, you could do 1.5, somewhere around there. It is not at 1, clearly, so be careful with that. And then my y-intercept is at -5, so I'm going to do 0, -5. The problem is when I try to find my slope, I don't want to use a decimal. So I'm going to use this point right here that I'm drawing in at 1, -1, because it's right on the corner of my box, so then I can count easier like I did in the previous one. So if I draw my triangle in, I go up 1, 2, 3, 4, and then right 1. So up 4, right 1, 4 divided by 1 is 4, and my line is increasing, so my slope is positive. Last two you should have on your note sheet. These are your Vux and Hoy problems. Notice this doesn't cross the x-axis at all. Okay, so there's not an x-intercept, but it does cross the y-axis at 4. So my y-intercept is 0, 4. And then if you're confused about the slope, go ahead and draw another point in and count your rise over run. Notice for this one, I don't go up or down at all. And then where I drew my point in, I go over 2. So 0 divided by 2 is 0. Okay, last one, it crosses the y-axis at -3, but it does not cross the x-axis at all. So there's not the y-axis at all, so there's not a y-intercept. If I count my rise over run for this one, I'm going up 2 over 0. If you type that in your calculator, you're going to get an error. That is undefined slope. Okay, so remember, vertical lines, VUX, undefined, horizontal lines, HOI, 0. You're going to go ahead and do the practice. If you have questions, let us know. Otherwise, have a great day.